Yeah, just a quick word of warning. If 50 minutes of Tetris is too much Tetris for you, I honestly want to know, why did you even come here? The time code's right there. If that's too much for you, you should have went to something else. But in any case, if you're still here, my condolences. Anyways, this is Tetris on the NES. This is the unlicensed version by Tengen, or Tengen as the weird people call it, apparently. Starting off rather badly, I think. You see, usually when I play a game of Tetris, you know, when this is every version of Tetris, I usually like to leave one side clear, so that I could slip a line piece. I start building one side of the play area, so that when I get that line piece, I could slip it down and I could clear away the most, you know, things. Now, if that gap was filled, I would have gotten a Tetris. And, ooh, speaking of which, there you go. Oh, okay, that was a nice bit of luck there. So anyways, this is just a regular, you know, more of a casual playthrough than anything else. I'm not trying to go for any, you know, records, because I know I'm not going to get that far anyways. But, I just figured, you know, why not? Let's go, let's play a bit of Tetris, and, this game, actually ran a little longer than I anticipated, so... To sort of give you a bit of, like, context as to what this game's about, because nothing really interesting is going to be happening at the moment. Yeah, but... Yeah, this version of Tetris was released by, Tengen, and is one of their many unlicensed copies. So, technically speaking, this was the first version of Tetris to grace the Nintendo Entertainment System. However, this is not the first version of Tetris to be made for the Nintendo Famicom. That honor goes to a version of Tetris conceived by Bulletproof Software in 1988 that was only released in Japan. I actually did a little review of it about a few years back. I think it was 2012 or something like that. You could Google it or something, or maybe I'll put an annotation if I remember to do it when I upload it. But the version by Bulletproof Software was a lot more primitive. It was modeled more after some of the earlier computer versions, and wasn't as flexible in terms of the gameplay, and was actually somewhat of a catalyst in bringing forth the legal pissing match due to rights and things of that nature. I'm not going to go into the whole history of Tetris here, because, you know, I'm ill-equipped to, quite frankly, give any semblance of a history lesson. But suffice it to say, Tengen thought they had the rights to do Tetris, but turns out Nintendo had the rights, and then they had a huge, like, legal court thing, and I just cleared a level. And you have the dancers. The number of dancers that pop up every 30 lines or so, you clear a level, and your performance determines how many dancers come out. I did apparently really well to have all the dancers come out, but you honestly don't care about that. Anyways, Nintendo put out, you know, had the rights to the game. It was made legal in the like I'm rambling at this point, but this game is not going too well, actually. It's going pretty badly. And I've got, yeah, fuck, where else am I gonna put it? Just gonna slip that there. Yeah, in retrospect, I probably should have slipped it there, but I guess I needed something for the, square. Anyways. So anyways, you got a lot of line pieces here. This game likes to send you multiple copies of the same piece. Like there'll be instances where it'll send you a lot of square blocks in a row. A lot of the L's or reverse L's or something like that. Mostly it's either a string of S pieces, squigglies, reverse squigglies, or something, or whatever you want to call them. So far so good, actually. You know, I'm doing not too badly, actually. Anyways, what was I talking about? Probably not irrelevant. Anyways, this version of Tetris was only out for a month, and then, you know, the courts told them to get rid of it, and then Nintendo put out their own version of Tetris. That's more or less... There's actually a documentary online that sort of does a better job of explaining the whole legal history of Tetris better than I ever could. It's on one of the... you could probably find it on YouTube somewhere. And again, if I remember to do so, I'll see if I could track down a link and just do that like that or something. I don't know. Anyways, I'm just mesmerized by this. Yeah, right now this is me not having any clue what the fuck I'm doing. And that, I guess that works. And yeah, you might as well just, yeah, you get a line out of it at least. Why not? Yeah, reverse L goes there. Straight L goes there. Squiggly goes there. Squiggly goes there. Not much to say in this regard. And you know what, in all fairness, I probably should cut most of this out. But because I love you all so much, I'm leaving this whole thing in. And I have no... I was sort of indecisive on where to put the line piece, but I decided, you know what, just, you know, go for the double lines, who cares. Because I did rather poorly, I only get 2 dancers as opposed to something. I think the minimum I ever got with this game was 2 dancers. I never did so badly that I'd only get like 1 dancer. Which isn't really saying much, but hey, whatever. Anyways. Yeah, so... Level 2, it's only slightly, it's one nice touch that I like about this version is when the pieces are set, they change to a solid color. And of course the color changes, you know, in each level. Which I thought was kind of a nice touch. Again, hindsight, I probably should have went the other way and just fit the L block there, but nah. There are things that you think about, you know, after the fact. You know, you watch a playthrough, you play the game, you're not really thinking about certain things, but when you watch it again, you start thinking, fuck, I'm stammering here. Yeah, get used to it. It's gonna be a lot of that too. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is, when you play a game, you know, any game, sometimes you do actions that, you know, like so. You know, you just play a game like that, but when you're rewatching a playthrough, you sort of catch on to, you know, maybe you should have done this move instead of that move or something like that. And it's especially true with a game like Tetris, where there's instances where I sort of wish I did something, you know, different from, you know, whatever. But, just the way it is, I suppose. Fit that there. I could have fit it in the other one, but who cares? Doesn't matter. Could go either way at this point. I set the L piece there. Get a nice triple out of it, at least. Not much to say in this regard. Boom. Again, you know, now that I think about it, you know, tuck the squiggly in the corner so that I can fit the square into the side, but who cares? You know, got the job done. And now I got all the dancers again. Yeah, the number of dancers that come out depends on, you know, how well you do. You know, and obviously if you have like 2 or 3 Tetrises nailed in, you know, you're guaranteed to get all the dancers. So you got a nice couple gaps to fill in. And now this is one of the things where the game really likes to, you know, more often than not, they likes to screw you over with, you know, putting in 50 billion squigglies, and now you're getting 50 billion line pieces. And I've got no place to put this L block, thanks for that. Just gonna have to make the room. Fortunately, I got the reverse L, so it's not so bad. Again. It's really an instance where they really like to stammer you with the same piece several times in a row. That worked out well, I guess. I don't think it would have been a problem if I just... Get a nice triple there, figure why not. That's the only thing I really could do with the squares is, you know, set them to the side. And now the line... Fuck off. That was my exact reaction, was just fuck off. It's like, that's all I really do. It's like, if I got room on the side, I'll just leave the squares there. Because what else can you do? Nice double. I kind of like the jingles in this one, though. Nice little compositions. All of them, like Russian folk tunes, I think. Which I think is something that's been lost in like recent versions of Tetris, where, you know, in a lot of these older Tetris games, you had like a nice selection of varied music. Whereas as we progressed onwards, they just stick with that one main theme, and set the square there. No clue where I'm gonna put the knife. Oh yeah, I guess that works. And the square, only place to put the square is right there. Okay, that works rather nicely. And I slam you with 50 billion. Not much to go on. So, anyways, only 5 dancers. I didn't do good enough to get the final dancer. Yeah, obviously I'm not sitting through the whole performance. I'm just skipping through these fast. Because I believe I was in a bit of a hurry when I did this playthrough initially. So I wanted to get this over and done with as quickly as possible, but yeah, things do not necessarily go according to plan at times. And right now, I'm always trying to maintain that same strategy. Keep one side of the well clear so that I could build towards scoring a Tetris or 2. And sometimes it comes back to bite me in the ass, and sometimes, you know, it's all part of that risk versus reward thing. Do you try and build up for the big points, or do you just clear lines whenever you can, and just, just to keep it clear. And I know when I was younger, my main strategy would mainly there wouldn't be a strategy, and I fucked that up. Fucked that up, really. If it was what's his face there, dipshit Phil or whatever the face, if this was him playing, he'd probably blame it on delayed controls or something. I blame it on delayed motor functions. Or impaired eyesight, cause Jesus Christ, how do you miss that? See, even I could laugh at my own stupid mistakes. Where else are you gonna put it? Nice little stick goes there. And this is where they start slamming. Well, okay, not so much. Now this is where they would have started to slam me with the same... Could have went the other way, actually. I think I was afraid it wouldn't fit, but I figured it would have fit just fine. Leave the gap open. And yeah, we're done. Okay, never mind. Get all the dancers, you get, get a couple Tetrises at least. And you get your maidens. You get all your dancers. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, usually change a plan. If the well is too full for my liking, focus on just clearing it out. And pray you get the right pieces. Because if not... You always want to try and leave at least 2 spots open. So if you want to put in like a square, you get a square piece laying around, you got no place to put it. You at least got one place that you could deposit it. Now this T piece, I got no clue where I wanted to put it. Anyways. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, at this point, not much else to say. I think at this point, I'm actually quite surprised I'm doing so well. I often wonder if you ever got like a bonus for clearing the well. So I know what usually happens with most modern games, but if you were to do it back then, probably not. And yeah, I was lucky I had plenty of room to spare for those square pieces, cause I guess you could put it there. I would have put it elsewhere, but yeah, I'll get a couple doubles. Now what? Now the squiggly goes there. No room for the squiggly. Or is it a reverse squiggly? I don't remember. I mean, you have these naming conventions where, the L block's an L block, the square block's an O block, the squiggly is the Either the squiggly is the S block or the reverse squiggly is the S block, and the other one they just call it a Z block or a Z block, you know, depending where you live. And reverse L is sort of like an R or something, or I don't know. I don't know, I just call them reverse L, squiggly. And I was you sort of saw me, I was almost going to put it there, but then I saw the other squiggly. Just went with that. Yeah, got myself a Tetris right there. Got that. It's gonna take me a while to clear out that one spot. Like good long while. And I think that's my focus at the moment, is just trying to clear that spot. And we're done. We're in level 6. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So, I've been playing for 20 minutes so far. At this moment, I'm probably looking at the clock, you know, wondering what time it is. See, what time is it? 12:45. Okay, all right, not so bad. I might be able to do this in one night. The actual game was played around, what, 8, 9 o'clock or something like that. I was gonna hold it off, you know, but nothing was going on with the Monday Night Raw, so I just said, nah. I'll go for some Tetris. What's the worst that could happen? And I'm still, quite frankly, you know, it's sort of a cliche thing to say that, you know, well, we didn't expect this to last so long, but honestly, I really didn't. I figured I would have topped out by now and the game would have ended a long time ago, but it's still going, so. How far would it go? Well, you probably already know because the time code's there, and I know already because this is being dubbed after the fact, but still. And this is just a game, at the moment, this is just a game not willing to cooperate. So they're giving me all kinds of shit, and I get my revenge with a Tetris. I might as well. Yeah, something I neglected to mention because it went by quickly and I was rambling about some other stuff. After you clear 150 lines, the conditions to move on to the next level change so that it's now every 50 lines you clear, you go up one level, which I thought was a bit of an interesting twist. Of course, you know, there's usually a set of parameters. I'm really out of it. Fuck. You know, line goes there. Line goes there too. Tetris. Another Tetris. That was a nice little stroke of good fortune, I would say. Now, square goes to the side. lines left. And then right now I'm going back to my usual plan of attack, trying to build one side, keep the other side, and then I just said fuck it. So yeah, now we're in level 7. A typical game for me, I'd usually last around till level 8 or level 9. I think I usually do better in the older Tetris games. Bit of a fun fact, actually. I actually played through the Famicom Tetris from Bulletproof Software, and I went through the entirety of that game, which is basically the game's basic. The way that game is structured is a bit different from, you know, every other Tetris game. You know, you have a set number of lines you have to clear to move on to the next level. You know, 25 lines in that case. But the difference with that is that once you clear level 9, which is the highest selectable level in that version and typically any other older version of Tetris, it actually goes back to stage 0 but adds junk blocks to the mix. And there's 6 rounds of junk blocks, and when you get that, when you clear the last possible level, you know, stage 9 with a height of 5, you get an actual ending, and then you get to play again until you exhaust all of your lives. That version also had lives, which I thought was kind of a unique feature, but again, that version has a lot more stiffer gameplay, shall we say. But I played through the entirety of that. That took about 3 to 4 hours, for the most part. And yeah, I had to take a couple breaks there. Probably won't post it online because this is long enough, I'm pretty sure. We're almost clocking in at 28 minutes, you know, by this point. Around 27:45. Yeah. Yeah, I was missing a gap there, so that's why I only got a triple. But didn't have any other place to put it, so figured, fuck it, why not? Let's go for another triple. Yeah, at this point, you could have. I guess I was trying to save it for like a squiggly line, but no, I just would have should have just went for that instead. The bottom spot. Could have went for the side. Just holding out hope for that L block. But now, I guess at this point I sort of realize I have an opportunity to build up for a Tetris, and then I completely fucked that up. But I got a nice recovery out of it, at least. So it's not completely wasted. No, at this point I'm sort of like in cleanup mode. Clear up as much shit as possible and not worry about trying to get like a high score or something like that. And the line piece, if it wasn't for the square block, I would have went for the side gap. And that was well deserving of a Tetris. Anyways, one more line ought to do it. Fill that gap, that's pretty obvious. And we finish with a triple. We're on level 8. Yeah, we get the dancers again. And I think because I did more lines, I got all the dancers. Who cares? They're always going to do the same thing. It's always the same little dance that they always do, so who cares? Actually, this is pretty amazing though, because I usually my playfield isn't this empty when I'm playing it by this point. This Tengen version, because there's a lot of pros and cons to both this version of Tetris and the licensed version that Nintendo would eventually put out shortly after this one's was kicked off the shelves. For the most part, this one has more features. Like if you didn't like the other window is usually where a second player would play. Although sometimes you could compete against the computer. There's even a cooperative mode where you and a friend or you and a computer are in the same well and you're sort of like, you know, trying to clear blocks together, and usually ends up being a clusterfuck and all that. I actually tried it one time with a buddy. You know, we went back to competitive Tetris shortly afterwards, but it's a nice little thing. The Nintendo version doesn't really have any of that. It only has like an A mode, which is a marathon mode, and a B mode where you clear 25 lines. You know, depending on, you know, how much junk you have in the playfield, you get, you know, a number of endings. I don't know why I put that there. Like, in all honesty, I don't know. I'm watching this after the fact. I don't know why I put that there, but I don't know. There's a method to the madness. Presumably having nothing to do with rocket fuel or something. I don't know. This is a point where I sort of no clue what I'm doing. I guess that worked out. Got a triple. I'll tell you what though, if I ever decide to do like the shorter review version, which probably won't be anytime soon, I got some decent footage to work with at least. I guess that works. Yeah, what you're listening to right now is how an actual live Let's Play would usually go. If I were actually playing and dubbing at the same time, you'd get huge blocks of silence. Because whenever I'm playing, I usually my focus is usually on the game and not necessarily on babbling, which is mostly what I'm doing now because I'm recording after the fact. But yeah, I'd let out an occasional curse here and there whenever I do something stupid, but for the most part I'm usually silent or something, and occasionally I'll just, you know, two dancers, and the others, they went home, they went to bed. Can't say that I blamed them because it's a pretty long night. And I am in utter amazement that this game is still going. I'm also in utter amazement that I got a line piece. Because I didn't expect to get a line piece, excuse me. No place, so we just plop it there, plop that there, plop the other thing there. Convenient that I got that one spot for the line piece. Oh, I figured I was going to start building towards the Tetris, but I guess not. I guess I abandoned that particular strategy and decided just, you know... But again, it goes back to that risk versus reward. Do you try and build towards a Tetris to attain the most points, or you just focus on clearing as much shit as possible so that you don't top out? And this version's a little less lenient on when you top out. I guess you could fit it there. If it wasn't for that L piece, I probably would have regretted doing that, but you know, I had a nice little save there. I'm already regretting. Got the square piece, got the line piece. And I'm regretting doing that too, because I just used that as a step to fit the squiggly line. A lot of things you notice, you know, when you're rewatching a prior playthrough. A lot of stuff you notice you wish you had done differently. You know, which is like the whole point of replays. You learn from whatever stupid mistakes you made, and hopefully you get better the next time. But in all honesty, just the fact that I'm still playing it by this point, even then I guess I was amazed that I was still playing. But I could have went the other side. There you go. It's kind of an interesting little thing. You know, right now I'm going for singles. There's no opportunities for me to actually build towards. None that I could take advantage of, at least. That wasn't so bad. You go for a nice double. I didn't think I was gonna figured. There were a couple instances where I thought I was gonna start building towards the Tetris, but I guess it wasn't gonna happen. I figured it would have been possible to do. I guess at this point I'm starting to play it safe, so... Anyways. Now we start building towards Tetris. Now we see how I royally fucked myself over. And of course we're in level 10. And level 10's the first level over 9. I think this goes up to 17 if I'm not mistaken. Which a buddy of mine actually played this on an emulator. You know, and he wanted to see how far he would go. Basically, the idea with the emulator is that it has this feature where you could slow down the gameplay. So when it gets to a really, really high level, he could slow the gameplay down, so it'd be a lot easier to play. I don't think he did it because, you know, for bragging rights or anything. I think it's just, you know, usually when you're using cheats or things of that nature, it's not so much trying to. Sometimes, for the most part, whenever we play with cheats, it's usually just to fuck around with the game. You know, and I think that's the whole. Yeah, I don't know. totally in damage control. But yeah, whenever you play, usually when we play with cheats, it's usually to fuck around with the game. Usually to experiment, if you will, try different things out. Obviously, when game developers are in the process of designing their games, they usually have a debug mode or something to help them go through the game without having to play it properly. Especially in regards to games that only have like no starting, no something. I was going somewhere with this, but I lost the plot. So, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you notice on the right side, my stat meters are almost full, which I've never had that happen to me before. So at this point, I'm just sort of doing like damage control. Clear as much shit as possible. Don't try to build towards anything major. Just go, just clear the. I probably should have, nudged it so that I'd fill it, the whole rectangle, but that's, that's me just looking back. At some point, the thought usually occurs to me that I've been playing too long, I should probably end it. But for some reason, I'm still playing. Probably because I'm actually quite impressed that, mind you, like just to give you people some a bit of context here, my games never, whenever I play this version of Tetris, they never last this long. A typical game of Tetris, at least the original Nintendo version, usually lasts about 10-20 minutes. More or less. Yeah, level 11. Wow. We're 43 minutes in almost. Jesus Christ, man. And you know what? This wasn't like, this isn't like gonna be any like any semblance of like a world record game. I'm not trying to do that. Whenever I play, I don't. Obviously the idea behind these type of games, you want to get the highest score possible, but whenever I play, I'm not trying to go for any like, I'm not trying to like, submit a score to Twins Galaxy. You saw right there, I just fucked up. And also, you saw right there, I could have used that line to just... Anyways. What could possibly go wrong? A lot. And a lot has gone wrong, apparently, at this point. Again. Could have went for that line. I could have fitted in at that one point. Decided not to do that, and then I cut myself off because I had no other place to put the line piece. And I'm getting putting more junk onto it. And I'm not gonna have much of a choice, I gotta do it again, one way or another. And they sent me a bunch of T-blocks. No fucking room to put them in. That just fucked me over. Ah, fuck. didn't you go the other way? But on the other hand, I cleared out the gap. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, your stat meter on the right is completely filled. And what happens?
Absolutely fucking nothing! You ass biter!
Shut up, Boars! Get the fuck out of here! God damn it! Get the fuck off my property, bitch! Oh yeah, I'm really gonna get it now. But yeah, there you go. If you're wondering what happened if all the stat meters were completely maxed out, nothing happens. There you go. You know, if Nintendo games had achievements, there's an achievement worth unlocking, I suppose. But then again, back then we didn't care about achievements. Now this is me not knowing what I'm gonna do now. I think the only reason why I was still playing was just to say that I played until the meters maxed out. But actually, you know what? This may very well be my personal best, because like I said, a game of Tetris usually doesn't last this long, and a game of this version of Tetris lasts a lot less time than this. So, like I said before, probably was like 8 or 9. Usually is the highest I would ever go. So, anyways. This is where I'm at the point where I debate whether I should try and keep playing or... And I'm not quite sure. I think I generally keep playing, you know, at least until I top out, and you know, just sort of go from there. You know, single, you know, double. I don't know why you do that. For another double. You know, eventually this game's going to fall apart. And it just... I called it right there. Oh yeah, fuck this. Yeah, that game's over. Maybe not. Might actually recover from this. Yeah, it's over. Yeah, I'm fucked. Would've went the other way, would have been better, but... No, one way or another, this game's over. Line in there, now they start swamping me with fucking line pieces. And that... No room. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. We might actually salvage this. Might actually fucking salvage. Maybe. No. We're fucked. Fuck me. And that's it. That's it. We got nothing else. We're finished. Oh fuck. And might as well just end it already. Oh fuck! I fucked that over royally. And we're done. And you'll look at the score right there. Just a few points shy of 300,000. So, yeah, well, it's not so bad. That was actually probably my personal best. Not exactly a world record or anything, barely a top score or anything like that. Nothing worth submitting, but For me personally, that's probably the best game of Tengen Tetris I've played ever. So, I'm quite pleased with it for the most part. And that's it. That's it. You're free to go. We're done. If you sat through the whole thing, we'll fade this out. If you sat through the whole thing, thanks for watching, and thanks for enduring, most of all. And till next time, take care and good night. Later.